There are a ton of custom cars out there, and when it comes to modifying cars, only the wallet and the imagination set the limits. Not everyone can afford a supercar, so why not build it? In this video, we'll show you some really cool custom rides and even some you could build yourself. So sit back and enjoy as we show you 10 of the best custom cars. Vader Infiniti G35. By now you're asking yourself, what the heck is a Vader G35? No, it's not some secret supercar that Infiniti built that you missed. This is actually an awesome-looking body kit that you can buy for your G35, which will definitely turn heads and have everyone asking, what kind of car is that? Apparently, there are many critics of the Vader G35, but we wanted to share a few reasons why we think that it's awesome. First of all, this body kit was designed by the average guy with no money. It was designed by car lover Matt McKennegard, who wanted a supercar, but like many of us, he couldn't afford to buy one, so he decided to build one himself. His body kit will fit 2003 to 2007 Infiniti G35 coupes and comes with a body shell, fenders and bumper, inner and outer door pieces, hood inner and outer skins, all the vents, wings, spoilers, and 8-point roll cage, and even custom glass is included in the kit and much, much more. If you're going to buy the kit, it will take you about 2 months to put it all together, but maybe less for a more ambitious mechanic. However, the car does need to be cut down to the chassis so you can weld the 8-point roll cage in. And by the way, this car was featured in Suicide Squad. Bonus points for the viewer who tells us who's driving it in the film. If you want a kit of your own, it will cost you about $11,000, plus the cost of a G35. That's not bad considering you'll end up with a sleek-looking supercar with 280 horsepower for under $40,000. Volkswagen Golf GTI VR12. When it comes to the Volkswagen Golf GTI, there is a massive enthusiast following when it comes to modifying these cars. There's so many things that you can do with this car. All-wheel drive GTI conversions, massive engine swaps, wide-body kits, not to mention a slew of high-performance bolt-on parts. But if you take a look under the hood of this GTI, you'll see VR6 engine with the turbocharger. But that's not all. If you take a look in the back of the car, you'll see another turbocharged VR6. That's right, it's called the Frankenstein VW. And this green GTI has 2 VR6 engines with a combined total of 1,600 horsepower. The engines are managed by a pair of gearboxes that can be either operated separately or linked together. The interesting thing about this car is that its powertrain components can function independently. That means the GTI can drive away with just the front engine running, or it could use the rear engine if the driver wanted to. And the owner of this car likes speed, with the car turning a 9.06 in the quarter mile at 156 miles per hour. Good thing this little car had a parachute, as the owner says. The ride is pretty darn scary. Mazda RX-7. The 5th generation Mazda RX-7 turned out to be quite a surprise when it came to turning one into a high-performance street machine. And there is plenty of performance and high-modified RX-7s running around out there, but we're willing to bet you've never seen one like this before. Spotted on eBay, this semi-built 1994 Mazda RX-7 has some muscle car body styling with the G-Ready Rocket Bunny hood body kit along with 800 horsepower rotary engine totally rebuilt by Speedtech of New York. The interior of the car is mostly stock except for a pair of Bridlow Max Stratia 2-carbon Kevlar bucket seats, a Vertex 7-star steering wheel, and a large touchscreen infotainment system. This incredible car has a beautiful fire orange paint job and bids were up to $26,000. We wonder who the lucky person was who took it home. Ford Focus. The 2017 Ford Focus RS was the hottest $40,000 car you could buy, and it was outgunning the Subaru STI and the Golf R. And this was an untouched factory car. But the Ford Focus RS has been modified with a few hand-picked upgrades, pushing power to 380 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque at the wheels. It's a pretty insane package and includes intake, intercooler, boost recirculation valve, and an aftermarket exhaust. The larger intercooler keeps the intake temperatures down and allows the ECU to essentially run full boost all the time on the street. And an improved recirculation valve stands up to higher boost temperatures better than the weak factory valve, allowing for safer, more consistent power. All of the modifications on this car are bolt-on parts, and at 380 horsepower, the factory turbo is maxed out. Custom DeLorean DMC-12. There are probably a few fans of the DeLorean DMC-12. You know, that car from that film, Back to the Future. Well, one look at this car and you might not believe that it used to be a DeLorean. Many people probably like the DeLorean in its original form. However, a place called West Coast Customs took a DMC-12 and turned it into something that looks really futuristic. Apparently, the car belongs to the frontman of the Black Eyed Peas' will.i.am, who actually had a vision of building such a car. Basically, he wanted to build the car to what it might look like if it was from the year 2020. The car was widened by 6 inches, given futuristic body styling, LED lighting, and the wheels are even custom-made. They did a really trick job on the inside, and Beach audio speakers sit in all 4 corners, and a special center console in the dash accommodates an iPad that is supposed to control everything. While it might look ugly to some, half of you will admit it looks better than the original. Oh yeah. And it's powered by a GM LS V8 engine, which is certainly much better than the factory engine. So we want to know, what do you think about this custom DeLorean? Toyota Supra 930 WHP JDM. Toyota Supras are great cars in their own right, but take one and start making a bunch of modifications to them and you'll end up with a beast. And this monster is owned by a guy named Marcel who lives in Vancouver. Under the hood is a legendary 2JZ 3.0-liter incline 6-cylinder engine, which some say was designed by God himself. The 2JZ is a solid engine with a cast iron block and recessed turbo pistons, which allow traditional flow from the turbo. These engines can reach 321 horsepower without changing any of the internal parts. So it might not come as a surprise that this beautiful gunmetal gray Supra is cranking out a tire-smoking 930 horsepower, all going to the rear wheels. A kit to make this horsepower will only set you back about $7,000 aside from any labor cost, unless you're going to do that yourself. But considering you'll spend a lot less money for a car that will eat up some supercars out there, it's definitely one of the more affordable custom cars. Mazda MX-5 Radbull. Not all custom cars are built for the road, and a professional driver by the name of Mad Mike Whittet built a Mazda MX-5 as a drift car. He calls it the Radbull, and he's built the machine from the ground up. The car is powered by a bespoke 2.6-liter twin-turbocharger, 4-rotor Mazda rotary engine that puts out over 1,000 horsepower. That's a lot of horses for 2.6 liters. Mad Mike has a ton of videos out there, and he really knows how to drift his machine and even does a backward drift, and executing every move with style and precision, showing just what it takes to be a Formula Drift Pro driver. The car has so much power that the back tires never seem to stop smoking, and we wonder what they look like after a few laps around the track. Toyota Aygo Crazy. Of course, this list wouldn't be complete without a concept car, and this Toyota Aygo is crazy. In fact, they've named it the Aygo Crazy, and the small 220-pound machine has the same 1.8 VVT-i unit that powered the final generation Celica and MR2 Roadster, but also has a Toyota Motorsport turbo conversion kit which boosts output to 200 horses. Add a 5-speed manual gearbox and slip on a set of 17-inch alloys with beefy Goodyear 225/45 rubber, and you're ready to have a good time. This concept roadster is capable of going from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 5.7 seconds and can reach a top speed of 127 miles per hour. To slow everything down, 328mm ventilated discs are up front with 4-pot Brembo calipers, and in the back, 280mm ventilated disc brakes. Honda Civic. Honda sometimes gets in on the game when it comes to building some custom cars, and this one-off Civic sedan has a Sonic the Hedgehog wrap. But that's not all. Touring sedan was customized by York and Fox Marketing Cars. It has many upgrades aside from the wrap, and Fox added new wheels that match Sonic's red shoes, and the game's infamous gold rings, a black grille, and a yellow Honda badge. The show car has special seats with catskin blue leather and special Sonic the Hedgehog logos. With all this Sonic stuff going on the outside, you can be sure the interior got some love. A Rockford Fosgate audio-visual system was built into the trunk and includes two 500-watt 10-inch subwoofers, two 400-watt amplifiers, and a floor-mounted flip-up 32-inch television for getting some Sonic gameplay. 1949 Mercury LED sled. There are a lot of old custom cars out there, enough to make a top 10 list on their own. But for now, we'll show you this 1949 Mercury Coupe. The amazing and hard thing to believe is that this car sat in a swamp for a long time, and the bottom 12 to 16 inches of the car was missing, and the floors were completely rotted out. It also had a few bullet holes in it. But a man named Ben Mahoney decided to buy the car and see if he could give it a new life. Originally, he had planned to have a shop do it, but many of them took one look at the car and ran for the hills. So Ben decided to do the job himself and took the car home. It was measure 4 times and cut once, and Ben says he spent hundreds of hours just making sure the roof was level and the front and rear glass were straight and angled just right. As you can see, all that hard work paid off, and this is now one low and slow 49 Merc. That concludes our custom cars list. Which one of these did you like the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you liked the video, then click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you will be the first to know when a new video arrives. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.